but I did have him at this 5 spot.
I had him at number 5. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's kind of where they sit. But, I mean, it's solely, again, on the offensive side of the ball. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Purge have been criminally underrated here.
10 wins, over, under. I'm going to take the under.
I'm going to say under because, like you said, I think 10 wins can win it, and I don't have the Purge winning it.
I also have the under.
Drew Maurer making his first postseason start. First batter, Pat Ballman leaves the yard. Pat Ballman starts this off with a nuke to left field. Oh, there it is! Pat Ballman leaves the yard. Gosh. Pat Ballman shocks the world. There's the deep breath.
He's gonna grunt.
Swing and a miss, and the Purge are going to the championship series for the first time in franchise history.
Does the lack of being clutch affect this team? All 3 years, if I'm correct, all 3 years they were the higher seed.
Either way, they were winning after the first game of the series and then blew the second
and they
two.
blew it. Yep. I think that's the question. Can the Thunderbirds this year be clutch?
Swing and a miss at the bottom of the zone, and the Thunderbirds take game 3, and they will advance to face the Mojo. The bases loaded extra innings.
That was actually a dirty secret.
But, you know, Doug taking that step. Andrew Nichols, high fly ball, Andrew Nichols! You can see the celebration. Grand slam, Andrew Nichols. High pressure pitch right here. Just miss.
Walk.
And the Thunderbirds will win this game on a score of 1-0, and they go on to face the Purge.
They did it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Season 5 MO WIFF Championship here at Miracle Field. I'm joined alongside by former champion himself, Sam Eichenlaub. Sam, how you doing tonight?
Cam, great night for some ball. We got a little breath of wind. There's not a cloud in the sky, and we're ready to crown a new champion.
Absolutely. One of these two teams is going to get their first championship tonight. Sam, give us a little bit of details on how this series is going to be played out.
So, Cam, tonight the series is a 3-game series, best of 3. It's going to be full 5 innings, so it's not the time limit that normally goes through to the extra during the regular season. And then from then on, if the games are tied after 5 innings, we will go all the way to the 8th inning until there is a bases loaded situation. So bases are going to be clean all the way up until the 8th inning if need be.
Absolutely. We've seen it a couple times this year. Should be a great series. Let's talk about their history between these two teams from this year and from last year.
Yeah, so this is the Purge's second year here in the league. They came over from the Empire. It was a crossover team. They have gone 2-1 against these Thunderbirds in the last 2 years, so a total of 4-2 record. Coming in against the Thunderbirds for the total for the last 2 years here.
Yeah, absolutely. Both these teams have had some good battles in the past. So far, the Purge have got them in the end, and we'll see if the Thunderbirds can rewrite that ship with the series win tonight, or if it's more of the same for the Purge. All right, Sam, let's get into tonight's rosters. I'll start with the Thunderbirds, who are the 3 seed in tonight's game. They are captained by first-year manager Brian Hunter. Joining him will be Brody Livingston, who has led this Thunderbirds team in almost every hitting category, not only just on their team, but also in the league. Spencer Foss, who is 2-0 this postseason, he's also been their ace on the year. He has led the league in wins and in strikeouts this year. Andrew Nichols on this team, former champion, former captain of the Thunderbirds team. He's got a pair of home runs in this postseason. They also have Dominik Sikchowski, who is the reigning Rookie of the Year. You know, you're good for a Dom Bomb here in this series. He's got to be due. And then they also will have John Willenbrink and Mark Vogler to round out this team. Expect both of them to get, at-bats towards that bottom of the lineup. And also, former commissioner Josh Rogers is here in attendance to join this Thunderbird squad.
In the flesh.
In the flesh. He is here. Not available to play in this game, but he's here in spirit, and he's here to help guide this team to a championship.
Everyone needs a glue guy, right?
Absolutely.
Every good team does.
Absolutely. So take it away here with the Purge.
Yeah, so for the Purge, we're going to have Pat Ballman. He's going to be leading off. He batted 300 this season, which was third best in the league during season 5 here. And then we have Colin. Colin's going to be batting second. Colin Wilkerson. He was third in RBIs this season with 12. Then we have Zach Gunn batting in the 3-hole, 9 RBIs this season. That was also good for 9th in the league this year. And then we have Caleb Schweigert. Obviously, the absolute bulldog himself brings in a whole bunch of energy to that team. I feel like he's the heartbeat of that team. He was second in triples this year, but also a former champion, the only person who has been here on this side over here for the Purge to that championship. And then we have Greg Thornton. He's going to be batting 5th. No slouch at the plate. He is top 12 in home runs all time and top 15 in RBIs all time career wise here. So definitely no slouch at the plate and a very formidable lineup. And then on the bench, we are going to have Tom Wilkerson, who's obviously the captain of the Purge, and he's the person who's made all the moves to get the Purge in this situation. And then we have John Satrowski, older brother of the aforementioned Dominic Satrowski. So one of them is coming home with a title tonight. But
bragging rights for the year, right?
Yeah, very formidable lineup, and I'm really looking forward to digging into this one.
Absolutely. All right, now let's get a look into tonight's starting pitching matchup here for game number 1. On the mound for the Purge is going to be Colin Wilkerson, a 4-1 win-loss record here in Season 5, 27 innings pitched, 9 homers, only 11 runs, but 70 strikeouts to 28 walks, only giving up 1 homer and supporting a 2.04 ERA. And on the mound for the Thunderbirds is going to be Spencer Foss, sporting a 7-1 record, which led the league, 38 innings pitched, 5 hits, 7 runs given up, 94 strikeouts, which led the league, 25 walks, only 2 home runs given up, and a 0.92 ERA. Sam, this pitching matchup here in game 1 is going to be pretty electric.
As I mentioned last week, whenever we were calling the games, there's a reason why these guys are here, and these two are very formidable aces to go ahead and start off the championship, and I think that their teams would agree as well.
Absolutely. The Purge, came into the season with one of the top rotations, obviously with Caleb Schweigert and Pat Ballman backing him as well. On the other side for the Purge, or for the Thunderbirds rather, they have a pretty good pitching staff as well. Probably won't see Brody Livingston in game 1 because he'll probably be the game 2 starter. But look to maybe have Dominic Satrowski or Andrew Nichols available if need be to save arms as well. So both these teams have deep pitching staffs, and here in MO WIFF, that's what you need to make a good run. Proves why both of these two teams are here. All right, and without further ado, let's get into some pregame ceremonies.
Hey, Sam Eichenlab here with Mr. Pat Ballman. Pat, tell us a little bit about the Purge season so far coming up into the championship series.
I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, just a great group of guys, a lot of pitching depth. I know I wish I could have been there a little more to help out here and there, but the fellas have been playing great all year long. I think all just kind of building up to this moment. We got the pitching depth. And really, I mean, I know they're probably going to say the same thing, but it's really just like a family on our team. I know a lot of teams can say that in this league, but Tom's been nothing but great to me. It's just a fun team to be on, and I'm excited for today.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys finished the season on such a hot note. You won the last 7 regular season games, and then dating back on your last 10 games, you guys are 9-1. Obviously, with that record, you guys were able to clinch the first round bye. Tell me a little bit about how important you think that is to get to this stage.
I mean, it's very important. I mean, saving your arms especially. I mean, in this league, though, there's so many good players. So even playing you guys and the Archers, like that's not an easy task in the first round at all. But just in terms of saving our arms, I think that was huge for us. And I know last year we got the 1 seed as well, or we got a playoff bye, which was helpful. Wish I could have helped out last year, but I think this is a chance today to rewrite the story a little bit.
Absolutely. And you had kind of aforementioned, you not being here really for a decent chunk of the season with the injury and whatnot. Will you kind of tell some of the folks, what you were dealing with and kind of how you get ready for games and what your mental state is for that?
Yeah, so I tore my ACL and basically all my menisci, whatever you call it. So pretty much can't really move too well on it, but doctor told me not to play on it, but I'm doing it anyway, so probably not the best advice. But I had that injury happen, and then I actually live down in Florida, so it was hard for me to come back here and contribute. But I made it to enough in the beginning of the year to where I was eligible for the playoffs, and then Getting to come here every series for the playoffs has been great. And, I mean, the knee is definitely not ideal. There's things that it's hard to pitch and do on it, but overall it's just better to not be playing better to be playing wiffle ball than no wiffle ball at all. So
Absolutely. Well, I'm Sam. I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Pat Ballman, and we'll shoot it back over to you guys. Thanks.
All right, I'm here with Brody Livingston. Brody, big game tonight. Season 5 MO WIFF Championship. What do you got to do to put those emotions off to the side and play your guys' game that you guys have been playing all season?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just comes down to, our routine. I know I've been preparing all day, just kind of mentally, tell myself good things, all the things that I need to, tell myself right before game time. And I think a lot of it's just mentality. I mean, we have the talent, they have the talent. Either side for whoever's going to win tonight. It's just going to come down to mentality and keeping up with it.
Yeah, you guys have been playing well. You especially, you led the league basically in almost all hitting categories coming in, a little bit less than halfway through the season. So you played a little more than half, but how did that feel and how was it joining this new squad coming in, not getting a full experience from the beginning, but yet you guys seem to gel all throughout this year, and that's kind of what led you to this point?
Yeah, I mean, before I even came into MO WIFF, we had a lot of conversations. We did a lot of group FaceTime calls, just kind of talking it out and building the chemistry. That way, like you were saying, when I first got here, we gelled immediately. I still feel like I could have played a little bit better. I know there were a couple games where I definitely felt like, a little bit less than half of what I normally am feeling like. And tonight, I'm putting that aside, and whatever I'm feeling, I'm just going to do my best.
I love to hear it, man. Good luck tonight to you and your Thunderbirds. Should be a great matchup. Purge and Thunderbirds. Here we go with game 1. Hello and welcome to the Season 5 MO WIFF Championship. I am your host tonight, Cam Smith. We got the Purge and the Thunderbirds battling it out for the Season 5 MO WIFF Championship. First pitch, here we go from Colin Wilkerson to Brody Livingston. Strike 1 to start the game. Strike 3. The slurve gets Brody Livingston looking for the first out of the inning. A good strikeout there from Colin Wilkerson to start this game. We'll bring it in Dominic Citrowski, the reigning Rookie of the Year. Strike 3, another strikeout back-to-back to start the game for Colin Wilkerson. Dom goes down looking as well, brings in Andrew Nichols. Swinging a fly ball deep to center. Caleb will call off Zach Gunn.
The Thunderbirds go 3 up, 3 down here in the first inning as we go to the bottom of the first. It is a 0-0 ball game. Starting pitcher for the Thunderbirds, Spencer Foss, number 32. 2-0 here in this postseason. Led the league in wins and in strikeouts and innings pitched. Been a real workhorse for this Thunderbirds pitching staff. Pat will lead it off here for the Purge. Swing and a miss. Pat Ballman strikes out to start the bottom of the first, and that's a big out for Spencer Foss and the Thunderbirds, as Pat has been so hot here in this playoffs. Brings in Colin Wilkerson as the number 2 hitter for the Purge. Swing and a miss. Colin down on strikes. 2 away here in the bottom of the first. 2 strikeouts for Spencer Foss, just as his counterpart Colin Wilkerson did in the top of the first. That'll bring in Zach Gunn here, hitting in the 3-hole for the Purge. Swing and a miss. 3 pitches, 3 strikes to Zach Gunn, and it's 3 up and 3 down and 3 strikeouts for Spencer Foss. As we go to the top of the second, still no score. Leading off here in the top of the second, number 2, Mark Vogler for the Thunderbirds. Swing and a miss. Mark goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning here in the second. Brings back the top of the lineup and Brody Livingston. Swing and a miss. Brody down on strikes for the second time tonight. 2 away here in the second inning brings Dom back up to the plate. After this inning, that is a walk. 5 to Dom, and Colin doesn't want any part of him. He'll take the double walk, so we'll have a runner on second base now with 2 outs. Brings in Andrew Nichols, who flew out to center field in his first at-bat. Swing and a miss. Andrew strikes out swinging. That'll end the top of the second. Strike 3. Caleb ducks out of the way, but it comes back in for strike 3 in the first out of the inning for Spencer Foss and the Thunderbirds. They bring in Greg Thornton. His first at bat here tonight. Strike 3 gets Greg looking. 2 up, 2 down here in the second. Brings in Pat Ballman. Got to be careful with Pat here. 2 outs. You got room to put him. As Pat right back up the middle. Spencer Foss there to make the play. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the top of the third. It is a 0-0 ball game. Swing and a miss. Mark down on strikes. Colin Wilkerson dealing here in the top of the third. Brings in the leadoff hitter, Brody Livingston. Hesitation, swing and a miss. He gets Brody on strikes for the second out of the inning. Colin Wilkerson in the zone right now. Purge team loving it as Dom will step back in for his third at bat tonight. Dom Bam! First pitch swinging to left. Pat Bowman, torn ACL and all, will back up and make the play for the third out as we head to the bottom of the third in a 5-inning game here. Still no score. Colin Wilkerson will lead it off here for the Purge in the bottom of the third. Strike 3, Colin Wilkerson looks at that one. Spencer Foss had froze him there for the first out of the inning. Bring in Zach Gunn. Swing and a miss. Zach Gunn down on strikes for the second out here in the bottom of the third. Swing and a miss. Caleb chases one. And the Purge go 1-2-3 here in the third. We still got a scoreless game going to the top of the fourth. Could be here for a marathon. Andrew, a hard ground ball through the right side. That'll be a base hit for this game's first knock of the day. Thunderbirds have had a base runner, but that is their first hit. It's a first hit from either side, and it comes from Andrew Nichols, a hard single to bring in Mark Vogler.
That's a lot, but it's
Mark, ground ball out the middle, base hit. Back-to-back singles to start the top of the fourth here for the Thunderbirds, and that brings in Brody Livingston with two guys on. Nowhere to put him, can't walk him because you got to throw the 56 and under or a run will score. Brody Livingston, high fly ball, way out of here. A 3-run homer for Brody Livingston and the Thunderbirds, and they have busted this game wide open here on the top of the fourth. Nowhere to put him. Got a pitch to him, and Brody makes him pay. A huge home run from Brody Livingston, as he's done all season long. Unbelievable. Brody just waited for his pitch, had struggled earlier in this game, but he takes advantage of that one. Strike 3, bottom of the zone, gets Dom looking for the first out here in the fourth inning. Colin needed that one. Oh, yeah. Swing and a miss. Andrew down on strikes for the second out of the fourth inning. Swing and a miss. Mark Vogler down on strikes. And that'll end the half frame with the Thunderbirds score 3 on a Brody Livingston 3-run bomb. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. 3-0 Thunderbirds. Swing, strike 3. Looking, thought Greg was going to swing. Did not pull the trigger. One away here in the bottom of the fourth. Quick pitch, strike 3. Freezes Pat Ballman, and there's 2 away here in the fourth. Brings in Colin Wilkerson. Swing and a miss. Colin down on strikes. And the Thunderbirds are 3 outs away from taking a Game 1 lead here in the Season 5 MO WIFF Championship. Brody Livingston will lead it off here in the top of the fifth. He had a big 3-run homer in his last at-bat. Quick pitch. Top of the zone. Got him. Brody down on strikes for the first out of the inning. The full count pitch from Colin. Just missed low. That'll be 5, and they're going to put him on second. A double walk to Dominic Citrowski with only 1 out. Brings in Andrew Nichols. The 0-2 to Andrew. Swing and a miss. Got him on strikes. 2 away, still a runner on second base, and we'll get a pinch hitter here. You're getting your first look at John Willenbrink. Strike 3 looking. Colin got him on strikes there. We head to the bottom of the 5th. It's the last chance for the Purge here in game 1. They need 3 to keep this one going. Zach Gunn will lead it off here for the Purge. Strike 3. Big strikeout to start the 5th inning here for Spencer Foss and the Thunderbirds. Swing and a miss. Caleb down on strikes, 2 away here in the 5th. Spencer Foss and the Thunderbirds 1 out away from a game 1 victory. Greg Thornton will look to keep this one going. Swing and a miss. Greg strikes out swinging, and the Thunderbirds take game 1 here in the championship series. Spencer Foss, a perfect game on the mound, and Brody Livingston with a 3-run bomb in this one. That was the difference. Thunderbirds win this one 3-0. Welcome to game number 2 here in the MO WIFF Season 5 Championship Series. We have the Purge taking on the Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds won game 1. Pat Bauman leading it off here in the 1st. Brody Livingston on the mound for the Thunderbirds. Swing and a miss. Slows it down, and Brody gets Pat to strike out swinging to start this one. The full count pitch from Brody. Spikes that one, and an easy decision for Brody, as he will not want anything to do with Colin Wilkerson. A double walk here with 1 out in the 1st inning. Will put a runner on second and brings up Zach Gunn. We all got it over here. Swing and a miss. Zach Gunn down on strikes for the 2nd out of the inning. Brings up John Citrowski getting the start here in game number 2. Swing and a miss. John down on strikes. And just like that, take away the double walk as he leaves him on second there. We go to the bottom of the 1st. Thunderbirds will look to strike early here against the Purge. Caleb Schweiger getting the ball here in game number 2 for the Purge. He played a vital role for them in their last series against the Archers when he came in game 2 in the same situation, down 1-0, and he threw an absolute gem against one of the top hitting teams in the league. Can he do it again here tonight against the Thunderbirds, who have a 1-0 series lead? Brody Livingston leading it off here in the 1st inning. The full count pitch to Brody. That one's low. Brings in Dominic Citrowski now. Strike 3. Dom frozen on the riser there. 1st out of the inning for Caleb Schweigert in the Purge. Brings in Andrew Nichols. A base hit and a run scored in game 1. Swing and a miss. That one is blown by Andrew at 89 miles an hour for the 2nd out of the inning. 2 away, and that brings in Spencer Foss. His first at bat of the night. He was the starting pitcher, winning pitcher in game number 1 of this series. Swing and a miss. Foss down on strikes. And despite a leadoff walk to Brody Livingston, Caleb gets the next 3, and we go to the top of the 2nd with no score here in game 2 in this championship series. Caleb pops this one sky high. Spencer Foss makes the play for the first out of the inning. That was a towering fly ball. Foss all hands team over there at third base for the first out of the inning. Swing and a miss. Pat Bauman down on strikes. 2 away here in the top of the second. Brings in Colin Wilkerson. Wow, what a nasty pitch that was. A big looping curveball there from Brody Livingston as he sets down Colin on strikes, and we go to the bottom of the second. Still a 0-0 game here in Game 2 of this championship series. Brody Livingston, gone, a home run! A leadoff home run for Brody Livingston here in the second. Helps himself with a solo shot that just gets over the wall, and it's a 1-0 Thunderbirds lead. His second homer of the series. He's done it in both games here in a big 1-0 lead here in Game 2 for the Thunderbirds. Strike 3, a nasty pitch there from Caleb Schweigert for the first out of the inning. Brings in Andrew Nichols now. It's a big out there after the leadoff homer. Andrew right back up the middle. Caleb Schweigert is there to make the play for the second out of the inning. Nice easy grounder there. Not a tough play for Caleb. That'll bring in Spencer Foss. Spencer Foss down the line. Base hit into left. Hard hit ball for Spencer Foss. Did not have the start at the plate in Game 1, but making a difference here in Game 2. Brings in Brody Livingston. Now with the runner on. Homered to lead off this inning. Strike off the corner. Brody goes down looking. We go to the top of the third, but not before the Thunderbird strike on a Brody Livingston solo homer. 1-0 Thunderbirds. As Zach Gunn set to lead it off here for the Purge in the top of the third. Swing and a miss. Zach chases that one away here. And that's 5 to John. He wants to hit. Brody will put him on second for the double walk. Runner on second now with 1 out. Brings in Caleb Schweigert. Nasty pitch right off the corner. Gets Caleb looking for the second out of the inning. And now with 2 outs and a runner on second, that brings in the dangerous Pat Bauman. Swing and a miss. Pat Bauman down on strikes. Brody out of that one, leaves a runner stranded at second, and we go to the bottom of the third. The Thunderbirds lead it 1-0. Right off the corner. And a strikeout to start the bottom of the third. Caleb Schweigert, good pitch sequence there. Brings in Andrew Nichols. The full count pitch to Andrew. Chases the high one for the second out of the inning. Andrew frustrated with himself after that one. Swing and a miss. Foss chases that one. We go to the 4th inning. It is a 1-0 Thunderbirds lead here in Game 2 of this championship series. Colin Wilkerson will lead it off here for the Purge in the top of the 4th. I don't know. What did he say? Oh. Swing and a miss. Colin down on strikes for the first out of the inning. Swing and a miss. Zach Gunn down on strikes. 2 away here in the 4th. Slows it down. Nasty pitch. Gets John to strike out. Looking. We go to the bottom of the 4th, and the Thunderbirds are 3 outs away from hoisting their first championship trophy. Nasty, nasty, nasty slider there. Freezes Brody, gets him looking, and Caleb Schweigert's got 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Dom! Fly ball to center, not deep enough as John Citrowski is under it for the 2nd out of the inning. Is that 5 straight to Andrew, and a double walk will put him on second with 2 outs here. Strike 3, got him looking. We go to the top of the 5th. It is the last chance for the Purge. They got to score 1 to keep this game and to keep this series going. Brody Livingston heads back to the mound, and he is 3 outs away from clinching this championship series for the Thunderbirds. Caleb Schweigert leads it off here in the 5th. Yeah. Strike 3. Check swing. Yes, he did. First out of the inning for the Purge. And they will intentionally double walk Pat Ballman to put him on second. He is the tying run. Strike 3. Bottom of the zone. 2 away. And the Purge are down to their final out. It'll be Zach Gunn, tying run on second base. 2 away here in game number 2. Swing and a miss. And the Thunderbirds are the Season 5 Mo WIFF champions. Brody Livingston, an absolute gem on the mound here in game 2. Also had the solo homer that ended this one, that made the difference in this one. And the Thunderbirds get their first championship series win in their franchise history. We'll send it down to the field for some post-game ceremonies. All right, it is my honor as commissioner here at Mo WIFF to present the trophy to the Season 5 Mo WIFF champion Thunderbirds. Yeah.
Andrew, get back over here. Andrew. All right, go ahead, take your pictures, and then we'll do some interviews. All right, I am here to present the MVP trophy to the playoff championship MVP. I think it's without question, it's Mr. Brody Livingston. All right, Brody, get on in here. We'll talk to you first. 2 big home runs on the night, the game-winning homers in each one of them. Also, a phenomenal job getting the win on the mound in Game 2. How did it feel all night tonight from start to finish?
It felt great. I felt like I was still trying, like I said in the pregame interview, I felt like I was still trying to find it there, especially after that Mojo series. I went over, so I felt like I was due. Honestly, that second home run wasn't a very good swing, but, when he supplies the power, we'll take it. Pitching-wise, I didn't feel like I had my best stuff, but, it was good enough to, get the job done. Sorry to Pat, just have to in that situation, have to.
Yeah, smart move. Again, congratulations on the championship and as well as the MVP. Now let's bring in Spencer Foss, who, if anyone was going to put up Brody for a contest, an MVP, it was you. You had a perfect game on the mound in Game 1. How good did that feel?
It felt great, and to be honest, I didn't even realize I had a perfect game until afterwards. Brody went up to me and told me, and so I was pretty hyped for that, but the goal was pretty simple. Just throw strikes, execute, and be careful with Pat.
Yeah, I don't even know if you went to a full count at all in that game.
There was a couple close ones, but no, I just wanted to pound the board, hit my spots, and just help us win.
Absolutely, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then let's bring on in the captain, Brian Hunter. Brian, first-time manager, you bring your team here to the championship series. How's it feel to finally have a championship here?
It's words can't describe it yet, right? This ain't my team. This is Andrew's team, right? This is a team he drafted. All we did was add Brody in the offseason. The whole squad brought it back. Just not gonna lie, it feels good to get over the hump.
I bet it does. Boys, congratulations. A 2-0 series sweep for the Thunderbirds over the Purge, and that'll do it for here at Season 5 of Mo Wiff.